Good evening, United Rogue Overwatch fans. We've got a wonderful matchup here for you tonight with some insider information, some fantastic stuff. We hate to pull your attention away from your Marvel Rivals games, but it's time for some Week 5 Overwatch. I am joined here in the booth tonight with famous Houston enjoyer, Trash Can, the Trash Can.
It's an honor. It's an honor. First time ever casting, and I'm doing it with my GM.
Welcome.
And I'm casting the GM that I'm GMing.
And that you once formerly 2 seasons ago played for Houston. So the Houston lore runs deep.
Yeah.
For those of you that are unaware, originally this was actually supposed to go even deeper as far as the lore goes, with Saucepan being our
soup can.
Soup Can. Sorry. Originally being the one who was supposed to cast tonight,
Yeah.
but decided to go to Bowser's house. So we can't forgive that.
Yeah, no. How dare he?
Not
But
at all.
I mean, it kind of worked out though, because now we just get insane Houston lore. I've been on Houston for what, 3-4 seasons. You were on Houston. It's just a big Houston bias.
Yeah. I mean, I listen. I'm going to try to go ahead, and give Miami some of the support that they deserve here. But especially because they have Storm on there, and my fellow Doomfist brother, I can't not, that's traitorous.
And looks like we're getting the Storm tank right out of the gate too.
Yep.
Already know we're going to Busan.
Bassoon,
Yes.
great instrument, I love it. Famous, great woodwind instrument. Yeah, very nice. But yeah, we're about to head into Busan here. Eco Point, Antarctica, remaining one of the least played maps here in United Rogue Overwatch. As
Nobody
far as
likes
our opening map picks. Nobody wants it. Nobody.
Yeah, nobody likes it. I can attest to that.
But otherwise, yeah, we're about to head in here. Remember, this is week 5. Here in this 8-week season, we are in the back half now of our season officially. So these games we're sliding closer and closer to playoffs. So these games will start to matter more. You'll see that desperation coming out. But also these teams, in my opinion, getting better. Getting more comfortable
definitely.
with each other.
Yeah, and I think
we see some matchups.
Yeah, these are 2 really strong teams too. I think both Houston and Miami have had a great season so far. Maybe correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, I'm excited to see what comes out of it. Hopefully, I don't internally rage at my little baby Houston players.
Just remember, if Trash Can internally or, God forbid, externally rages at the Houston players, our boy Saucepan Soup Can will win one, in the morale game without even being here. So you can't do it. You can't do it. You got to be happy with whatever happens.
I fully believe that United Rogue is for having fun. So at the end of the day, whatever the score will be, I will be happy.
As long as
but obviously, obviously I want them to win. But respect is given where respect is earned. So let's just have a good game.
Absolutely. I do not, unfortunately, know Miami fans here in our Twitch chat at the moment. Rico coming out with a very strong Houston bias. Andrew as well, unfortunately. Our production team is just leaning. I'm trying hard as I can, not to just straight out support my former team.
I think that, if Miami pulls this out and wows us, there's no denying that, they deserve the win or the insane moments, whatever. And I think they've already kind of proved themselves in that this is a solid team. I'm trying to hype them up because Mr. Can is not here. They deserve the love too. So
they do. We're not that biased. No actual serious trash talk of other teams. But yeah. So talk to me about these teams and their records so far. What are we expecting here in this
Houston
Ryan Zarya
is
matchup?
currently undefeated. I know that.
Okay.
I'm not sure of. I think Miami has won most of their games, if I'm thinking right. Now I'm wondering if I am right.
Miami is 3-1 so far in the season.
Yeah. Okay. So most of their games, like,
with about
solid
a
football team.
yeah, almost a 70% map win percentage.
He pulled out the percentage.
I've got the standings up here on my other screen.
I'm pulling them up right now.
But yeah, we do have a pretty intense matchup here between what seem to be two exceptionally strong Emerald teams here.
This is like, I feel like this is probably one of the most anticipated games of the season. If I feel like for Houston at least, it was very like, I don't know what I'm thinking of, but everybody was kind of like, we want to see what happens here because they haven't seen Miami in the same conference, but haven't seen them till week 5. Wild. Oh, and down goes Biscuit. Oh no.
I mean, it took a while for these picks to come out here.
Yeah, we see Miami, taking the point here. Seem to be pulling out a big fight.
Yup, as Beat goes down there to Storm. Houston, these are the first team fights though. Not always indicative of what the outcome of the match may be.
I can say we've been slacking a bit in scrims, in that we haven't done one in a while. So I'm forgiving right now.
Everyone is coming back from this holiday break. You know, we've had our long week. Trust me when I say that I up in if you might not know, but our availability in Ruby was terrible. Couldn't get a scrim for the life of us.
Also, the window comes out, big pick on Biscuit, but down goes Squirms to the Pharah off angle.
The Pharah really kind of completely alone here, but not really being focused.
And here comes the tire, and he gets Sanity.
Great pick there by OG Buns, locking down that Ashe. But really, neither of these teams really committing to a push right now. I say as they do, and
both these ults. Ooh, and the Pharah
fantastic GK. Great answer though, back from Miami, and we're really seeing trades here.
And Bob goes off the map.
Oh, Bob.
But it looks like Miami secures that point.
And I always ask for it in the chat, but no one ever gives it. Can I have an F in the chat, please, for our boy Robert?
I will give you an F
swim
in the
down
chat.
there. Thank you so much.
Stream is lagging, so nobody's gonna know what that F is for right now.
True. Oh no. Well, maybe they'll see Robert go off the map, you know. I think it's absolutely unhinged to just call him Robert the entire time. Works for me. Sticking though with the Ryan Zarya comps here.
Yeah, but we're seeing Sanity pull out the Widow. I'm hoping it does some stuff. We've seen him, hit some crazy shots before, some fight-winning shots.
Beatdowns.
Oh, Beatdowns pulling out the Ram.
Beautiful Ram switch there, realizing that Storm might be a little bit of a problem here on that Rhine.
We're also getting Buns off the junk and onto the Hanzo, and he goes down to the Widow.
Watch here.
Do we think he
swaps?
Because I know junk is a comfort pick. Oh, and another pick from Sanity onto Squirms, and then now Miami's down 2. But it looks like Buns is coming back. So the
Great
Widow.
Marvel Rivals Black Widow gameplay coming out there from I'm Insanity. Loving those picks. Oh my goodness. I mean, you called it. You said that we'd be seeing work come out here.
Does it again?
Second time there to Insanity. If you're sitting here on the Miami team, you're thinking to yourself,
"Oh my!
Oh, no. Oh my goodness! You can't be standing out there in the open. The guy can aim." It's not very often we get to see a Widow put in work, but what are we? Are we going to see a Doomfist? A Winston! He opts for the Winston
Oh,
as
and he
Dragon
does it
Master goes
again!
down. The Insanity Show here coming out. 3, 4, 5 picks.
Again!
6 picks! Oh my goodness!
goodness!
Insanity's popping off!
And I was
Oh
kind
my
of right.
God.
We did see the junk swap from Buns. I think we all kind of know how good he is on that character. Definitely a comfort pick from him.
I mean,
I'm hoping he can pull some stuff out. I mean, I'm happy to see that, you know, Sanity is doing some insane stuff. He's got the sights up, but at the same time, I can't help but feel bad.
I mean, hey, listen, you know, you wanted your team to do well, and so they are. But Miami looking at this and going, it's time to dive. We have got to get some pressure on that back line, because otherwise, this map is not going to go well for them. And it works like a charm.
And Biscuit Dragon pull out 2 picks there. Commander Storm, they're up 3, and we're pulling out Annihilation.
Not entirely sure Annihilation was the move there, as Miami finishes up that cleanup there onto Houston, but it happened, I guess. But you know, it's a win for Miami, but it's not a win for the game by any means whatsoever. That 84% there on the Houston side, looming over this Miami roster.
I mean, there's some ults from both teams though, looking like Houston's gonna have more ults. We've got a flanking Reaper.
Is the case, and they're going to use those ults here as they push onto point.
Down goes Storm. Oh, and we see a Robert coming out onto point.
Fantastic Robert play there. Never misses my boy Robert.
Good Suzu from Kamani there, keeping his Squirms alive.
And Biscuit going down to the Robert. Great job, Robert. Love that. And
goes Piper to Buns. Beatdown takes down Squirms. But
that's a really late pick there onto beatdowns.
Yeah.
That's going to stagger him very hard here and delay the rotation here from the Houston team.
Do we think Buns is going for a tire here?
I think Buns absolutely is going for a
pushed
tire.
Up so far. He's crouched. If this man doesn't tire this next fight,
Oh, he's
something is
tiring.
wrong.
There
we
is.
go.
And we have Ignition.
Oh.
Picks out Takara. I mean, takes out his counter, and at this point he can go ahead and put in work. Fantastic play there coming out from Storm, knocking Insanity off the map as Miami gets a cleanup here, and Houston is just staggering super hard. I don't think that they're going to be able to make it back here to point. As the seconds tick down here. They are split here, and Annihilation comes out, and it gives them that space, but they're split. They're massively split here on this side, and they're going to be pretty much 3v3 here into this Miami team. See how that goes for them, but window coming out. Big Annihilation kill though, and Mark finishes it up. And at this point, Houston actually manages to make it back. And it might be Miami that's on the back foot here.
I think, you know, we gotta give a lot of credit to this Mark May, who kind of just held that. With beat down a bit, but I think people only really see him as the Pharah player, but he puts in work on other characters.
There's the Doom to try and get back to point. I don't think he's gonna make it though. Does he?
I have faith. I have faith.
He
barely gets it. Look, the faith was justified.
He's got to stay alive. He has to stay alive now, and he doesn't.
Yeah.
Great burn on the Doom,
and
Miami folds like a house of cards here. And we're going to go 1-1 in the series here. Well, 1-1 in the map. Not in the series. Still 0-0 in the series.
I'm wondering if we're going to see some big swaps here, because I know a lot of those are probably picks just to get back fast. Do we see the Doomsday? I know you'd be happy to see it.
I'm dead. You know me, I'm always happy to see a Doom. Doesn't matter where it is, doesn't matter how hard of a throw it is, doesn't matter what you're running it into. I'm happy to see a Doom. I cannot be trusted. I am heavily biased. Um, but
Unfortunately, it looks like we're getting a monkey instead.
yeah, I mean, honestly, every single time I see Storm pull out the monkey, you know, I just internally cry to myself, going, "You could totally substitute that for a Doom." But I get it, I get it, I get it. You know, the monkey's
Also,
better.
back to the Ram Farah on Houston with Sanity pulling out Bastion.
What are the thoughts behind that? What do you think?
I have no idea. To be honest with you, nobody knows what goes on in Sanity's mind.
Wonderful. Okay.
Oh, and
I mean,
Storm super early here.
Smells like a dead Winston, is what it smells like.
Yeah.
Lightly roasted, a little bit buttered, easy on the salt.
The best way
Great
to
work
take your
there.
wins, I guess, unless it's on your team, in which case nobody wants to get Winston when it's on your team.
That's a Michelin-starred Winston there, cooked to perfection. But Houston taking this point rather decisively as we come back
swap.
in. They're done. Storm is done. No more games. No more fun. It's time to hold M1 to M2 and turn the brain off. As they come around the backside here, and any boops, any fun boops coming out from the Farah? I don't necessarily know.
I think she's more concerned about the junk right now.
Going
on that flank though.
Very quickly. Are we about to see a fun barrage? Is that what we're about to see? Only 70%. I don't quite think so, but you know, Miami's slowly encroaching on this point here.
And I think this fight's gonna be really interesting, just because
Storm might go down here. He's absolutely dead.
I was gonna say, you know, Miami doesn't really have that ult economy just because of the swaps, but I didn't even get to say it and he died.
Yep.
And no ults were even used.
Nope, which plays in the favor of Houston in so many different ways. Insanity, probably a choke, I'd say.
Seems like it.
Trying to separate the team there. Not to great effect, but interesting choice of timing. Possibly a fat finger, but we do have 4 more ults here on the side of Houston. 3 though, and not too far off on the side of Miami. We might be seeing an interesting matchup here ult-wise, but the real question is, can they keep Storm up? And
it looks like Houston is just saying, we want this point, you're all getting ulted. Does the Deadeye do something? Unfortunately not, but they do get some picks.
Can
Miami bring this back?
They absolutely do not. Not a chance. Unfortunately, their supports got picked almost immediately as I asked whether they could keep Storm up, and the rest, as they say, is history.
I mean, it was a good fight from them, though. Just so unfortunate, that turnaround.
It is, but, you know, hard-earned, you know, with going to a 3rd point there. And Houston Flames here going up 1-0 in the series, best of 5 for those who don't know. And that's a major win for them, you know, of floundering a little bit that first round, and then coming back and securing it.
Just reading chat here. Saucepan saying Mauga into Bastion is heinous work. I agree, but Mauga in general is heinous work, so it's acceptable, I think.
I don't think there's I think the moment that you switch Mauga, all bets are off.
Yeah.
I'm seeing this is a tank diff. Insanity doing it all. Absolutely, Insanity is my favorite tank. Here you can see that Roadhog Summer Games profile icon in the middle of all those Houston Flames ones.
I feel like this is the perfect time for me to give some insider information. Beginning of the season, you know, I said, do you guys want to do matching icons? Because some teams like to do that. And for some reason, it just turned into Sanity. It's always the Hog one, and everybody else is Houston, and he's always in the middle. And we all laugh about it. I don't know why. It's so funny to us.
You know those strange team culture things that just have a tendency to form throughout the season.
Yeah.
You know, we had a Torb for no good reason at all when I was on Houston.
Just a bit of just flame JD a
no
little bit.
reason. Yeah, there was no good reason for that to be the
I
thing.
will say he did tell me he was gonna play Torb only when I signed him. So
Okay, I mean, and so he did.
he did.
Literally.
He kept his word. He kept his word.
Yeah.
It looks like we're gonna get Eichenwald here.
My
Now,
favorite map.
I've heard Bun say that this is his Junkrat map. So
It can be. Oh yeah.
do we see some insane Junkrat here? I would venture to say he's probably the best Junkrat in Emerald. I know we've seen a few, but I think nobody can quite say that they are Bun's level. In Emerald, at least. Dude,
I mean-
why did I just like totally just like giving enemy team love? It's fine. I still stand by it. I think he's probably one of the best. No? Am I wrong?
I mean, I'd say so. I don't really know my Junkrats all too well.
But we see Twisted from KCC can play the junk.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I don't think it's pulled out too much in Emeralds. We've seen Marked actually pull it out on Houston. So yeah, I don't know. Am I just not watching Emerald enough?
We have seen we've seen some incredible junk gameplay, I think, in both leagues. But what I'm really interested in here, specifically on Eichenwald, is that Junkrat is one of the few characters at this point in the game that can make use of the unique map geometry that is available to you here on Ike. And that can be, if used correctly, especially at the beginning of the map here, you can do some stupid, and I mean absolutely stupid stuff. Take it from a Doom main. I know, I'm pretty sure you've seen me sitting up there at some point.
I have definitely seen
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
And you can do some heinous stuff.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're definitely getting the junk. Junk Sigma. We're seeing Hamani swap over to the DPS as well, putting Swarms on support. And Sanity pulling out the Symmetra here.
The classic
With
defensive
Mark on
pick.
Torb. Wait a minute.
5, 4.
Wait, are we watching Sim Torb?
We are watching Sim Torb. That is what is happening
my-
right now.
Oh my goodness.
Defend objective A.
Got the
why,
car
I
wash
don't know.
set up and ready to go. Oh, and there's been a pause.
And we have some technical difficulties here. Piper saying that we got some sort of specs messed up.
Oh,
And the entire match has been restarted.
yeah. Looked like what happened there was when they swapped sides, somebody forgot to swap over the spectators for the proper sides. So looks like that's all fixed now. Didn't really hinder the game too much considering, you know, but it was only the start anyway. So
So interesting. I honestly,
Ready for battle.
man, you know what? As much as I like to see the junk on attack, I would have loved to see that junk on defense.
well,
Defense is where you can just sit up there, you know, before the team even comes out of spawn,
yeah.
and just wait.
I mean, we will get it, but
we will.
I mean, I think the thought process from Houston here is they want to defend first, which is probably the right move, I think, when you're going against the junk on Eichenwald.
I agree. Very smart.
5,
Do you think they're going to stay on these picks though on the side of Houston once they see what they're dealing with that Sim Torba choke?
defend objective Objective A.
Or they're just gonna
I-
break right through.
I don't know. We'll see. I mean, there's a lot of potential from both sides, I think. Pomani on that Mei too. You know. Hopefully we'll get some good walls where it, you know, shutting down
Fairness,
beat down.
And forcing out the ice block already on Kamani. Wall coming up, allowing them to fall back a little bit, recoup, regain, and try again. Remaining on that Sig on the part of Doge. And they will look for another push here. Great rock earlier in that team fight there. On to beatdowns. But really this sim from Insanity, taking this off angle is just, it's rough. They need to find an angle to push in, and I think honestly it's gonna be this far side here that they're going for now.
And it looks
Great
like
rock
Mission's
bark one here.
letting them have it right now. I will say, I did warn them not to walk into a room with a Junkrat, so
I mean, very smart.
yeah. I've seen them do it, and it's made me rage. I'm glad they're not doing it here.
I don't know why. I'd
How
walk the
comes
Junkrat.
fire? And down it goes to Sanity immediately.
Yep, and they are not killing these turrets. Those
What?
turrets are not going
A
down.
mega sleep on the what is I don't even what's the form called? The ram form. Either way, mega sleep
Nemesis
forms
form?
there. Nemesis thank you,
form.
yes.
There
Shutting
you go.
down the Nemesis form. Do they realize that Squirm is just right there?
I don't necessarily think they do. What am I watching
And we're
here?
seeing the Mei ult come out. Beatdowns get stuck in it, but he pops ult, which basically makes their entire push there useless. Bun's on the hard flank though.
I'm not quite sure what I'm watching here. But I think they're finally pushing point. A great wall there to get beatdowns out away from his team. And Houston is going to get some picks here. Still getting picked out by this Juno Torb combo though. Absolutely brutal. Nice cleanup there from I'm Insanity and the rest of them. They almost had that. They honestly almost had that.
They did. And, you know, they pulled a lot of ults out of Houston there. So, going into this next fight, they've, what, got almost 64,
About
65
2.5.
to Ram, yeah. And Houston doesn't really have much.
I mean, Houston's... sorry, Miami does have to push up here on the ults, but, you know, if they can keep themselves from getting Mei walled, they got a chance. If they get picked out again by that Mei wall, get their tank separated and boomed like that again, it's game over here on the part of Miami.
We get that Nano onto Doge here, and he's
And
popped
there it is,
Annihilation
and
too,
Nano
yeah.
Annihilation, there it comes out, and I think that is going to be point. A tire coming in for the extra BM there on the part of OG Buns, but Houston with a mere less than 10 seconds left, actually about 5 seconds left, is going to take that point. The problem is, they got a
Miami is
long
going to
slog
take that
now.
point. Not Houston.
Oh, my bad, my bad.
You're good, you're good. But, you know, Houston did do a good job of holding them there and getting that time down. We see the Widow again from Sanity. Does it do as well as it did on Busan?
I mean, at this point, this next point is really where this Widow will either shine or not shine. Really depends. You can take angles which make it pretty much impossible for the Widow to really do much.
And Buns takes out Biscuit on the flank, but goes down to Biscuit's orb. That is an actual trade. And we get 2 ults out of Houston here.
And cleanup time coming out there, and there's that Widow doing work. You know, if you stand in the open against that Widow, Insanity it's not a question of whether Insanity can aim. Insanity can aim. You will die. So that positioning, either positioning while pushing, or alternatively, the smarter move in my opinion, somehow going for that high ground would be the smarter move.
I agree. But it doesn't look like they do it fast enough, if at all.
It's not just that, they're standing in the choke, you know. It's really just a matter of time before Insanity drops one on you if you just to stand there in the middle waiting for it. But you know, they're managing to push the point here. Rather separated there from their back line.
And Biscuit goes down to Buns.
Great pick. Oh, follow up on Insanity.
And the Ray come out of Viper. Yeah. Nano onto the Mei. What is happening right now?
Desperately trying to stay alive here. Not entirely sure whether it's going to work. Nope, marked up, managing to find those kills with beatdowns. And that's cleanup time.
Big props to Piper here, keeping that team alive with Biscuit down. Not easy on the Juno.
Really not, but that's going to be the end of our round here as we move finally onto that defense here. There you go.
Good hold from Houston. A good push from Miami. Could be better, obviously, but I think getting it that far after being so stuck first point is still something.
I mean, it's they got a massive team fight win there right at the end. Really allowed them to finally push through. It's defendable. This is an absolutely, they've pushed far enough to where they can defend that lead, but remains to be seen. As I said, that Junk does best here on the D. We'll see if Buns is able to secure any of those kills.
I've got the stream up on my second monitor for moderating purposes and chat, and I just looked over to the end of that last fight there with the freeze to Beatdown's teabagging and then getting frozen. The disrespect.
I mean, that's
I don't condone this behavior.
Not quite teabagging, you know. Tactical squats.
Yes.
Yes, that's what that is. Yep.
Pulling out the Mauga for Houston
and
here.
Buns not opting for the stall spot. I don't know if he
did
knows it.
Put a trap in front of their spawn, but it doesn't look like Houston's gonna walk out that way. No, they choose to go high ground.
Junkrat early spawn pick deal is.
Are we seeing a TP strat here? Is that what's coming out? It looks like we're getting a TP strat here.
Do we see it? It would be special if it works.
Down goes far into the Ana though. We are getting a Malgo TP in the back line. He goes down. Yeah.
I'm not sure what the plan there was.
Yeah, it wasn't well executed.
Maybe not well executed, maybe not well thought out. They can try again. But and we're going Bastion now.
Yeah. Insanity said no more to the dumb symmetric TP strats. Off the Malga too.
Very interesting. I honestly, I like the fact that they're staying on the Pharah there, countering the Junk. But Kamani, no slouch on the Soldier. We've seen several picks out of her with very decent aim.
Oh, down goes Buns.
Great pick there onto Buns.
Kind of crucial for this fight. Oh, but they take out Pharah.
And another trade.
Biscuit getting two
and Houston goes up, and they will take that significantly more easily than Miami did.
Insanity opting to take space here. Definitely a smart play, I think. Stalling that touch needs to go. I mean, but it didn't even look like Miami was gonna try.
they've got about twice the time that Miami did to push that payload. And
That's 2 Bunskits. One with the tire Kamani securing 2 there. That's...
I'm not entirely sure that was the smartest play.
It was a play! I mean, they got the
it
team
was.
kill. But also, I mean, Houston didn't really push much there, so...
That's what I'm saying, though, on the part of Houston, is they
Yeah.
left payload there, and I get the play, but it did not... Nothing really came to fruition there on their part. Definitely opting for the push now, grouping there up on the payload, and great pick on the high ground. And a second one, great kill on the Dragon Master, and that Ryan is looking profoundly alone there for a second as they group up there. This is prime ulting. Yep, and oh no! Oh my goodness, come on, he's shutting the ult down. Oh no, that is such a heartbreak.
Doge taking out 2 though. Beat down, pulling out Annihilation.
These Annihilations on the part of Beat, in my opinion, while not bad necessarily, got both supports there. I don't think they're going to be able to push fast enough to really capitalize on the lack of supports here.
They did almost cap though.
Or will
3 minutes to push. 3 minutes to push.
They might be able
2
to make
meters is kind of crazy.
And I think they're going to opt to go through the actual building itself.
Insanity.
Ult coming out of Insanity.
Ult.
Doesn't place one behind him, and they pop Immort.
Bond's on the hard phalanx. They don't even notice.
And the Juno ult coming out.
Buns was flanking, but so was Insanity, and Insanity seems to make it work.
And that's going to be it. A great push there. Fantastic plays coming out of them. You know, choosing to push that high ground, being that big difference maker to force them off and deny them that advantage. Great plays here. Absolutely fantastic on the part of Houston.
This is looking pretty good going into the 3rd map for Houston here. But I also think, you know, if Miami can polish this up in time, they've had some great fights.
They certainly have. I mean, you can see why this team is sitting there with that 3-1 season record. But as we go into our 3rd map here, series score currently is 2-0 in favor of Houston. And if you're on that Miami team, you might not be feeling that hot. You know, you might be looking to change a few things. What do you think are going to be the big things that they might change as far as comps, heroes, approach, whatever it might be?
I wonder if we see Squirms back on DPS, because that seems to really work for them. And that's no hate to Kamani, but I think honestly Kamani's support is just better. Not better than her DPS. I mean better than Squirms.
I would say, probably also better. I have seen some incredible plays come out of Kamani, especially on things like Kiriko and stuff like that in prior seasons.
And I think like we could see the Storm swap back in, but I mean Doge seems to be running it pretty well on the tank. Honestly, it's kind of just the hope of getting morale up and rallying together and saying we need to win this. Let's do our best and I don't know, pull off some insane stuff.
I mean, they do definitely need it. But honestly, both teams need this series. Houston needs it to really not just to solidify that lead here, going into the back half of the season, and Miami needs this because 3-2 is it would be much more of a blow to them, even though it doesn't sound like much, but it would be a lot more to them, as we have a quick washroom break coming out, really prepping ourselves here for this,
We
this
do.
third game.
See Storm come back in, presumably on the tank, as we're swapping Doge out. Is Hana? Are we going Hanaoka? Is that what they're picking here? That's what
Hanaoka.
the image says, but nobody has said anything yet. So
I would certainly hope so. Maybe you get to see that Doom coming out of Storm. On such a close map, and going Hanaoka. We are confirmed.
I mean, I like Hanaoka. How do you feel about Hanaoka?
I'm a fan. Honestly, the map is not particularly interesting to me. It's frankly I don't like the entire game mode. But you know, I don't. It doesn't last very long. You know, if you get steamrolled, you get steamrolled very hard. It feels like a sort of slightly lengthened 2CP to me, you know? What with
That's fair, yeah.
the short runs from one point to the next and stuff like that. It's just not a huge fan. But you can have a lot of fun. I mean, if you are steamrolling on this, you can really get some momentum going on Hanaoka, and this really is the place for fast comps, brawl comps, stuff like that. You know, close range, fast and nasty.
Also, Storm being pulled back out for Doge again, and now the way Prod likes to do stuff is we have the teams ordered from tank to support. Bun's sitting in the tank spot right now. Is he playing tank? We've seen the Bun's tank. Is that what's gonna happen?
Heard about a Bun's tank? I don't quite think I've seen a Bun's tank. But we can always take a look at that hero profile, where he has a very, very healthy 226 hours on Rhine. So the answer to that question is a resounding honor,
Probably?
glory, justice, you know, whatever it is. Reinhardt. Yeah.
Arriving at Hanoka.
I don't necessarily know if we're seeing, you know, we'll end up seeing that, but if we do, don't be surprised.
I'm excited. While I do pay attention to the other Emerald teams, I try not to get too wrapped up in them because I gotta, you know, support Houston more and just kind of make sure that morale is always good there. So I'm
True.
excited to see this Buns Rhine.
And
Because
yeah,
I've never
that's
seen
exactly what we see. Yeah.
Yeah, Buns on the Rhine.
Buns Reinhardt, and you know, that's really interesting considering that Junkrat in Hanaoka is an absolute freaking menace. So you know,
We'll
a
see.
very interesting swap here happening.
We've also got beatdowns on the Mauga, marked on Genji, sanity on Venture.
I don't know
What is
what's-
happening
I don't know.
right now?
I don't know what I'm watching, but these teams had better be having fun right now with comps like this. Is all I'm saying. Do we maybe see a cool pin come out here out of? Oh, we might.
And
Oh, we do.
down goes Biscuit too to Doge. Beatdowns is still alive. I thought he went up.
There's a little ledge there right beneath that, where he would have to pin a little bit further. I don't think he knew about it. He probably thought that he had him off the map.
Looks like Miami's gonna take this first point though.
I got all hyped for it too, though. I didn't even realize that was there.
Objective captured.
I didn't even realize. I was
Yeah,
like
yeah,
looking in the
there's
kill
a-
feed, and he
well,
just
there's
didn't die.
Yeah, there's a lower area. There's not even like a little ledge. There's a whole lower area down there, and you gotta just keep it pinning if you go off the side. But
A
picks
pick
here
coming
coming
out
out on parts of both teams.
Yeah.
A little bit of a DPS battle there. They're already fighting for that next point here. Very fast-paced. Great anti there onto Beat, and Beat goes down. Get it? Sorry.
That was so bad.
I please don't judge me too hard.
Oh, let me see a nano
Okay.
shatter.
Oh my goodness.
Just to flex.
Bunny's here, just you know, trying to throw it in our faces. I do play Ryan. I do. Look, my Ana knows it too. We see
Gotta
you.
tell the world he's not a
see you,
Junkrat.
Buns. Yeah, not an OTP. Absolutely not. Not even a roll TP. Roll OT. Roll OT. Never mind. But I mean, this could be match point here on the part of my, well, not match point, but map point here on the part of Miami. Very interesting.
Now what
That
we
that
want to
they
watch
just showed
for
up.
here is if Miami can bait some of these ults out of the side of Houston. This point is notoriously hard to cap for attackers. And really what you want to do is get ults out of people. And it looks like we're going to get the Cole and Miami falls, but only to Cole. And Houston still with a great ult economy here, which you love to see.
Yep, that ult by Biscuit, that Coalescence keeping up that Malga, even through the pin. Very important. Played it great and got the kill on the Rhine and the team fight win. And we're seeing Houston strike back here. As they're 1 to 2 points here on the map. Oh my good, Insanity and Mark though getting cleaned up by Doge.
Ooh, this is my point.
Oh my goodness. By no means over, but I don't necessarily think they're gonna be able to get this point. And we're gonna see a 3-1 here. Point take.
And it doesn't look like Houston's gonna risk it trying to cap that point. Just letting them have it.
But they're really gonna have to fight now. I mean, down 2 points on Hanaoka is rough. That is very rough.
Yeah.
This could end up being a map in the favor of Miami here. Seeing a bit of that life in the series. We're talking about what they needed to change, and you know, looks like they found it. Not in any way we were.
Looks like he's trying to go for a pulse, or just a flank.
I mean, they managed to get the. Oh no, that Malga is dead. Absolutely dead. And while they're managing to pick up, they're managing to get picks on both sides here, I think Miami might end up taking this, depending.
I mean,
No,
honestly, that lamb
not.
just really hurt that Malgold, but they're falling. What's going on?
Oh my goodness.
I think Miami had that in the bag, and then
they could have. They absolutely could have. But you got to remember that you know, defense there comes out of the spawn real fast. It's very difficult to maintain those kills. But we might be seeing an equalizer here on this next point here on the part of Houston. Very important for them if they want to get back into this. They've done half the work already, but we still have at least 2 points before this is over.
we've got both support ults on the side of Miami and the pulse, which he goes for but misses.
A
Sanity.
hard break on the part of Doge.
I'm trying to
Can
see
a
what's
Juno
happening,
ult
but
coming
everybody's
out?
pressing Q.
Do we get any picks here? We do. Squirms goes down, Biscuit goes down, and Houston managed to equalize.
Buns pulling out the shatter,
goodness.
but
Let's get on with it.
I think that was a bad shatter. He got people, but it's gonna do absolutely nothing for them, but give them bad ult economy. So unfortunate
Absolutely
there.
true, and I don't necessarily know if they're going to be able to make it back to take the point.
Doesn't look
And
like it.
oh no, now
Yeah,
they've
and
overextended.
Houston
and Buns
evens the
is
score.
separated.
The beatdown
They get
goes
the pick on the
down with
beat.
the
Oh my
mega
goodness.
anti there from
Wow.
Squirms.
Great focus there on the part of Miami to notice that beatdown is antied and out of position from his team and capitalize on that, forcing him all the way back to spawn.
We've also seen Doge now swap to the Reaper. I was gonna say something, but I feel like I have in fact seen him on the Reaper before.
I mean,
Marked.
you
getting
have
too
maybe, but it's the Mark
blade.
show right now. Double
Yeah.
with that blade.
I mean, Caiman
and the
does
annihilation
get
to
one
finish. Misses the
on
pin.
Biscuit.
What a heartbreak. And I think that might be cleanup time. The Bun's making it out, but so low. And
I will say,
they've got
with that
three
TV back
ults.
out of Kamani, they could touch here, especially with that pick on Mark, but it doesn't look like they're gonna make it.
Oh no, they don't
That is
make
so
it.
unfortunate.
Oh my goodness. Are Houston going to be able to take this? The kill onto Squirms. They don't have the nano up right now. And they're going to move on to this last point.
We've got
For them.
Shatter and Nano, almost Blossom for Miami, only really have Sode Rail, and we're pulling it out on the side of Houston.
True. Oh, but a big shatter to shut it down. Aren't going to be able to capitalize on any kills.
Antied, and down he goes.
And that's going to be a point take. We are going, I think, we might end up going to a 0.5. Or sorry, to a 0.9.
Yeah, I think we might go there. Houston
I think
looking like they're just
that's
backing
it.
up.
Yeah,
giving
we are going
space.
to a maximum 0.9. Oh my goodness.
This
4 to
is-
4. For those of you who are not familiar with this mode, the next point decides this map, and it could be the deciding point here for this entire series for both these teams. Currently 2-0 in the series on the side of Houston. They want this, and they absolutely need it. This is their last chance here on this map to be able to take it.
We've got some big ults on the side of Miami.
Rush coming out,
Rush coming out
perhaps
for
preempted,
Houston.
but absolutely leaning up there on the back line. Trade coming out though on a Biscuit. Insanity going down, Dragon being picked up. And the ult there for Marked. Buns getting the pick though onto Marked. Still nanoed. And
Now goes
it's coming
Viper.
down the wire.
And it's
Beatdowns
just
versus
Beatdowns
Sue.
holding this
Is he
point.
going to be able to live?
Cody goes up
He
the
is
map.
not great pick there by Buns onto Beatdowns, and they are set up. And this is most likely here going to be, unless they can make it their way back, which I don't think they can. Oh no, absolutely not. Getting melted by those sim turrets as they come in, but Dragon Master going down. And are they going to be able to keep it up? And they don't.
They don't touch.
Miami managed to take a map. Hard fought, about as down to the wire as it gets. Miami earned themselves that map.
And
Blood, sweat, and tears here.
I didn't get to mention it earlier when we were talking about Hanaoka in specific, but the one thing I love so much about Clash is there is room for insane comeback. And we definitely saw that on the side of Houston. Just so unfortunate that they couldn't get that win. But I think, honestly, like, Miami earned that one, fair and square.
Yeah, they did.
And we're going into game 4 here.
You know, honestly, fantastic gameplay there for both teams. Back and forth, great battles, great team fights. But the one thing that we weren't expecting was the Buns Rhine to come out storming like that. I mean, that was fantastic gameplay.
That was
Some incredible pins. That
amazing
last
battlefield.
pin onto Marked on the nano blading Genji and securing that kill was major. Absolutely major. Crucial for that Miami team. Definitely contributed to that win.
I think he can definitely say, without a doubt, he is not a Junkrat OTP.
That is not a junk OTP. For anyone who ever wants to call out Buns for his, frankly, ungodly amount of hours on Junkrat at 541, just remember, he might have literally half the Rhine hours, but that is no slouch on that Rhine.
Definitely not, definitely not. And it looks like we're getting Circuit pick from Houston here. This is going to be interesting.
Houston know exactly what they're doing here. I mean, this is such a smart and definitely the right map pick here coming out of Houston. And you know exactly what kind of show we're about to see. We've seen it once already.
Yep.
Saw it right out of the gate in the very first map there on Busan. I think Insanity is about to show us a little bit of a Witter masterclass here in Emerald.
And it looks like Miami is opting to defend first.
I mean, frankly, doesn't matter which side
Yeah,
you're doing it
I
from.
feel like-
Their problems will be the same.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think we've seen it earlier in this series. We've seen it before. The Sanity Widow is insane. Living up to the name.
True.
And, I mean, for some teams, it's just really hard to shut down. So, do we see that coming out of Miami where, you know, they recognize the Widow as the hard target and run at it? Or do they just completely ignore him?
I don't think they have the luxury.
I don't think so
completely ignoring
either.
him, nor do I think this being Emerald, you know, we try not to talk, you know, all too much about the skill differences between Ruby and Emerald, being the ranks and all that, right? But if you're going to try and ignore the Widow, you better have some great positioning, tanking, whatever it might be, in order to do it. And I'm gonna be honest, you know, much love to these Emerald teams, they're fantastic, but I don't think they're at the level where ignoring a Widow on circuit, you know, especially one that can actually put in some work, is going to be a viable game plan. So you better see a Sig, you better see something, you know, or you better start diving that Widow.
My
You know?
favorite thing about Emerald is that as Ruby players, that's how we think, but that logic is not always there for Emeralds, and sometimes they pull out some weird shit, and sometimes it works. So I'm excited to see what happens here. It looks like we swapped green in for Piper.
Welcome to Circuit Royale.
This is going to be interesting. This
Here
is
we
going to
go,
be really interesting.
Another possible for those who may just be joining us or have not been paying attention. We are currently 2-1 of the series in favor of Houston. Houston almost putting away Miami there on the last map on Hanaoka, but not quite being able to secure it. And now, honestly, you know, I'm gonna be honest with this, and of course we're seeing that Insanity Widow pick immediately. This, I think, might be their strongest map. You know, just as far as player skill goes. When you've got a top-level sniper on your team, you know, Circuit becomes one of your favorite maps, if not your favorite map overall. You know, it is the hit scan playground, and we love to see it. You know, very wise there on the part of Miami, opting for the shield, and I don't see any desire from them to try and duel this Widow.
You know, it's so interesting to me because with my insider information, I see all their scrims, and this map is actually, you know, has the potential to not go in the favor of Houston just because they've struggled with this before. So I'm hoping that they put all of the knowledge that they've gathered to use here and pull out a win. And down goes Doge to Sanity and Kamani. Oh my goodness. We are seeing the Sanity show here.
I mean, we are if you don't have a shield, if you're just gonna go ahead and hold up against this, you're gonna get what you just got, which is Insanity picking up 4.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised. We called it. There are no surprises here. Insanity is doing what Insanity does. But as the map progresses, it becomes more and more difficult. Here as a round progresses, rather, to get that
and
value.
Buns doesn't quite get this touch, and Houston caps
Buns.
first point. That was one fight.
Man.
That was one fight for that point.
I mean, it
That
was
is
domination. Absolute
wild.
domination.
We see Houston just taking the space here. They are not letting Miami take anything. And Insanity popping sites but sitting on carts. Interesting play.
I mean,
Do we
it
think-
definitely helped. It's while helping his team hunt down these
Just
picks.
enable.
Absolutely.
Just enabling the rest of Houston. And out comes Shatter and it hits
what a shatter!
4!
Gets 2, doesn't get 3, but that's going to be huge. And the barrage in order to take it back. Great play from Marked. And it's 1v2 here. It doesn't Insanity manage to push this
a Widow
point
against
through.
2 supports. So
I don't think so. I don't think so. There's that Immort. Smart play coming out. No one-shots for you, Insanity, and he's going to have to grapple away.
But he does get out though. No stagger for Miami.
No
here.
stagger. Very smart. Great plays. Honestly, that was a great play by both teams. The Immort to make sure you can't get one shot, right? And then Insanity realizing it's a bad idea and not going in. But Beatdown's immediately getting pinned. Huge pin onto Beatdowns. He's going to go down. And Miami are going to pick up 3 here. Doge falling to Insanity. But that is not going to be enough there for them to secure a team fight here as they slink away with Still Alive.
An insane amount though, almost capping that second point. So really, this is, you know, they've got almost more ults. Yeah, Houston has almost got more ults than Miami does here, and honestly, like, it's a one-fight win if they can pull it off correctly.
It really is, and this cage might be it here. Is Beatdown gonna go for it? Just hop right up on top of them and drop that cage. Opting not to.
Green
to do it now.
Fire strike in the window.
Holding the cage. He's gonna try and get out. And I think he might stagger here really hard.
Yeah.
Yes, he does.
Insanity's kind of stuck out too.
We've seen that a couple times there from Beatdowns. You know, the refusal to die with that ram before on Busan. But it is not beneficial there at the end.
Mark's doing a weird crouch up here. What is going on in these people's minds? Oh, and a mega sleep onto Doge from Green, which allows Mark to get that kill.
Jump shot failing, and they're looking for that pick.
Oh, but people jump in. They're jumping into it. He pulls out the
no! Oh, Mark! Forte! Oh, brutal!
Disgusting. Absolutely
Brutal work there coming out. Oh my goodness.
You know, and having heard their comms and watching, like, seeing reactions people have had to some of their combos like that in prior games, it makes me wonder if they're even talking about that because they've done it before where they just combo and nobody has said anything. So
I mean, we have seen Marked go for absolute broke here on these barrages the moment they group up. I honestly think it's just if it may not be the comms, it may just be great awareness on the part of the players.
Hats off to them though, because like they know what works, and even if they're not doing it intentionally, they're still doing it.
Certainly are. And we're pushing here into point C, looking with 2:40 here on the clock to get that take. As Buns attempts to pin in, is he going to get punished for this? Oh, you bet he is. And they're going to now to prevent the burn.
And he shatters the back line. It only gets Biscuit.
Great work.
Gets the cleanup on that kill there. Marked gets antied and is super low here. I feel like we've seen some great antis out of Squirms this series.
We really have. I mean, honestly, both of these Anas putting in great work. As Insanity gets another pick. This time onto Doge on the Soldier.
That high ground for Mark to just go up there and take it. But Kamani says, no.
Kamani's going to get picked for her troubles as Insanity picks up another pick onto Squirms. And we have an ult coming out here from Doge. Manages to get Biscuit, doesn't pick the Pharah, gets killed by Insanity. Great shutdown. Big Green picks it out. And this, I think, is going to be a take here.
Pharah, can he touch? No. So unfortunate. Great hold for
33.
Miami, though. Really cut that time down. Only a minute and a half for
I mean,
Houston.
they definitely put their all into it. But great position. Honestly, I think, you know, the thing to talk about here, not just the skill-wise here from the Widow and all that, and the picks up from Marked, but really the positioning, making sure you're contesting that high ground, making sure that they've got to come to you. You know, if you're having to sim TP to 1v1 a Pharah on high ground, things have gone wrong. Things have gone abysmally
yeah.
bad.
Something has happened.
Yeah, and really, it's a testament to Houston here that they're forcing these positioning errors out, and great work on their part. You love to see this kind of stuff from Emerald teams. Definitely, I mean, their record is no surprise, no surprise. Excuse me, considering what we're seeing here.
I do have to not only give big ups to my players, but also the coaches that I put them with. Both Ricochet and Johan, two insane Ruby players, have been giving these guys coaching.
Minor bias on the Rico, of course.
Of
Refuses
course.
to coach me. Hasn't turned me into a better Doomfist.
Asking Rico to teach you Doomfist is an insane statement.
But
yeah, no, like
round two.
Round two, and I just want to say, like, I have been giving them all the avenues to help them, but Houston has really been the ones putting in the work and improving. Especially, I want to, listen, I might be gassing my team up a bit here, but I really want to say this. Piper, beginning of the season, low bronze, when I picked her up, she's now gold.
Interesting. I mean, work is work.
Like,
and...
she has put in so much work this season. And I will say, when I did pick her up, she kind of was just, unfortunately, a slave to the hard stuck. But she's definitely, I've seen so much improvement on her. Sanity getting a pick on the Dragon Master. Also, there's on a Zen here. I think with this Rhine matchup, that Zen could be really good pick, but unfortunately he just went down so early. Beatdown gets slipped and off the map he goes!
Buns! Oh, Buns of the
Sanity!
You know what? He may have gone down, but he went down in a blaze of glory. And what more can you ask for as Orion, you know? Oh my goodness. You love to see it. You absolutely love to see it. He's great with that hammer hit at the end as well. You can tell he's done that tech before, but it's just the insanity show. That's all it is.
I that pick onto Kamani early.
Kamani switched to the Reaper from Bastion, got picked on the Reaper just as the Bastion. I mean, insanity is not a Widow even I think I'd like to go up against.
Oh, but Doge takes him out! Oh my goodness, this could be crucial here. That frees up so much space for them. They don't need to be
all the way in. Oh my god, that's way too aggressive.
But
oh my goodness, but it worked. Pushes them all the way back. And I don't think they're going to be able to do much here.
Ooh.
Oh no, Insanity's back!
Insanity said, I'm back! This is my show!
Goodness. 3K! Oh, Doge goes off the map.
Goodness.
Oh my god. That is brutal. That is just absolutely brutal.
I'm so gobsmacked, but in a good way right now.
I just this
Oh my,
and I get another one. It is I call this before we even got here, but Dragon! You get the pick. Every pick onto Insanity is just it's like a key opening a door, you know?
I have to say,
it's just all the chances in the world here. Is Bun's gonna pin in? He does it every time. Oh, and here comes the trance. They need to get out of there.
But
but they're gonna Juno
much out of that though. Yeah.
Smart play. Very smart play coming up. But a great shatter.
And the fire gets
shatter.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness. Miami managing to get it out in emphatic fashion as they secure that point. And they get point A. With Insanity putting in more work than I've ever seen a Widow put in Emerald. they managed to make it through nonetheless. Stranded calling out the insanity masterclass in the chat. We called it earlier. That's not. It was very much expected, but Houston at this point, I mean, the Widow losing that effectivity here.
Oh, and a fat shatter from Beatdown with the
And it
barrage
works.
on top. But
Doge
Doge
coming
back.
in to counter the nano
Oh my
visor, picking up
goodness.
3. So smart here on the part of Miami, conserving these ultimates. You know, getting these combos out. I mean, Insanity maybe managing to get the pick onto Doge, but you're not going to do much against the Rhine and the Ana. As they come back here, Miami's I think gonna get stopped for a few moments.
Yeah, and
But
you know,
but it really is only a few. There we
looks
go.
like
They're gonna
Miami's
have to
just
retreat
choosing
here.
to fall back here.
They're very smart. They did
Yeah.
just lose their Ana, and they're
But
about
Doge,
to lose
Doge gets caught out.
Oh no. It's all good for them though. I mean, they've still got a bit of time. A minute 40 here, and Insanity picking up too. It's gonna be a little bit of
But he
cleanup
gets
time.
swept. Sanity gets swept by Squirms, and then walled.
It's not gonna make much of a difference.
Yeah,
So
I
they
was
just
gonna say,
Miami just needs to
insane-
regroup.
oh my
Doge,
goodness.
no, caught
I was
out
gonna say
again.
that's a great play if they're not already down 2, and then unfortunately Sanity just gets right back up and gets another one.
I mean, if you're looking at this, this is not a particularly pleasant sight. If you're not a
The
a
Blizzard
Houston
doesn't get
fan.
anybody, but it does. Full beatdowns further
Fun's
into them.
going down.
Unfortunately, it's not
And
gonna
that
be enough.
Trans getting the pick though onto Insanity. But it's gonna be cleanup time, and are they gonna see Doge up there? Are they gonna capitalize and
They
go
know.
for the pick?
They definitely
They
know.
do. They
Yeah.
definitely do. And he goes down 40, about 45 seconds here on the push for them on the part of Miami. And it's becoming crunch time here. They've got to go for this. We're only looking at about one to two team fights left.
Oh, and the shatter doesn't get anybody, unfortunately.
Critical shatter here as time counts down. Insanity picking up another 2. With Marked finishing up the kills there. And we're looking at sub 20 seconds now. Miami, if they want to continue in this series, they have got to make it to this point immediately.
I don't know if they do. Beatdown is just pushing forward,
8
holding that
seconds.
space. The orbit
And
comes
here's
out.
our final team fight. Oh, the nano coming out.
Nonsense. We're gonna
Big.
match.
But the annihilation in the back line. And
Oh my goodness.
that's going to be it. Houston
Houston.
Flames in a fantastic series here with Insanity. I'm honestly player of the match here, dominating. Take that 3-1 in the series.
Sanity really said, "This is the Insanity show. You're all living in my world."
Is this the 4K? Do we see the 4K? 1 pick on a Kamani. 2nd pick on a Squirms. A 3rd here onto Dragon Master. And it was just a 3K. There you go.
Still insane. And although we say it's Insanity's show, Miami did put up a great fight there. Definitely saw some great plays from them. Overall,
Yeah, the OG
Both
Bomb's
teams-
fine. I mean,
both teams are ones to watch. That was an amazing game. I'm sure. I mean, I enjoyed watching it. I'm sure everybody at home enjoyed watching it. Yeah. Overall,
I mean,
it's great.
I'd love to see these teams come
Well,
up against one another. in
we
playoffs.
will. We'll be seeing them week 7, I believe. So maybe
Very
same
possible.
conference. So we get to see them again at least one time.
I'm being blamed in the chat by my production head here. Thank you very much, Andrew, blaming me for no 4. I'm sorry, it was 3. I forgot that Doge hopped off the map there on the soldier. I'm so sorry. You know, as always, you know, I'm getting blamed for the downfall of society here, in the booth. But Trash Can completing a landmark moment here. Trash completing her first cast.
ever cast.
There
Yeah.
you go.
And who better to do it with than my
Oh.
GM?
Oh, thanks. Appreciate that. Listen, I'm, you know, you got to do it for a season. Now I get to do it for a season, and we'll see what happens next.
Yeah.
But other than that, if I think that's all she wrote here for us here in week 5. Still got some matches to play. Some scheduled for next week, rescheduled to next week.
We do
had a
have
bit of avail issues.
2 back-to-back on Sunday.
Excellent. Stay tuned for that.
Yeah, 2 more amazing Emerald matches. We got MTL versus Pitt and KCC versus Houston. And it's
Love it.
looking like that's about it for this week, though.
Excellent. So catch us on Sunday then.
Yeah. Hopefully, see some of y'all there. I've been the trash can.
the trash can.
The trash can.
Welcome to the casting team and broadcasting for us many times before, and to all our viewers in chat, players, we hope you guys have a good night.
Bye. Good night.